So TruckRide was my mission in Call of Duty 1, one of a few missions, but it was one really near and dear to me because this type of gameplay was unprecedented. I felt like I was blazing a trail with new cool stuff to do with the first-person shooter, and so it was an honor to be able to work on this. One of the things that happened with Call of Duty 1 was we had designers kind of trying to make animations of AIs getting on vehicles and getting off of them, and there would be kind of these special one-off scripted sequences, and I think I vaguely recall like a test map with this truck in it, not with this guy, but a bunch of standing enemies, and they would just jump out of the car, and it was so cool to see all those animations work. But we had, I think we got some load up animations, and the designer who was working on it, was working on other things, and he asked me to help him out with it, and so I got those load up animations working on the truck, and I started to notice like a pattern of like everybody's doing their own things with these vehicle scripts, and so like the car was working different than the truck, and they weren't the code wasn't very reusable. It was like a page of stuff that was related to somebody's level, and so I worked hard to make this a little bit more systemic. So after Jeep Ride, I became the vehicle scripter for the game, and so I got to do a lot of the setup for vehicles, and I made a nice sort of like, we call it syntactic sugar, but made it so that you could set the animations with the minimal amount of code calls, and all the vehicles were kind of set up like that, and they used the vehicle AI anim script, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, TruckRide was my baby. I did a lot of the geometry work on here, putting the textures on there. I can't remember if I actually drew the geometry on this or got it from somebody. A lot of memory is blurred because I also worked on Jeep Ride for Modern Warfare. So there's a lot of crossover with memory, but yeah, you see all the. At this time, I was still heavily involved in everything about the level, the geometry. That's why it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but yeah. Really cool thing about this was I was having to ask for dialogue, because when we tested this thing, the player would be like looking off into the mountains and everywhere but where we wanted them to look. So we had to do like really expressive call-outs, like look behind us, there's a lorry to the 6 o'clock or whatever, and engage the player that way. So that happened, and then this is like a sort of stop and blow up bridge sequence so that nobody can chase you, and then you have this cool moment that almost everybody missed. I hope, let's see if this guy gets it. I'm watching YouTube videos, but okay. But one of the cool things about this level that you don't get to appreciate is we had a starts system. We called it starts, and it was like a way to fast forward the script to a section, because you can imagine like me trying to tweak something over here that after this long animation, it gets hard to like iterate on sequence of events. These are all on like animated vehicle paths, and so it's all pre-canned. None of this is dynamic. It's just like I'm basically an animator moving all these cars. So I think this is where the Indiana Jones things happen. This guy jumps out, and there's a lot of animation blendings because that was very hard to align the animation with the vehicle system animation. But you know, we did that. Yeah, this is one of my favorite creations in Call of Duty. I mean, if I didn't do such a great job on Jeep Ride, I'd say this would be my favorite, but we'll talk about Jeep Ride in the future. But thanks for watching.